The ancient Egyptians knew very well that if the positive but also negative characteristics of the gods had been kept in mind, the people would have remembered the power of the divine, and consequently they would have been assimilated into society with more dexterity. The sacred of the past could not be cancelled, but rather reorganized to be perpetrated, understood, and loved also by those coming from other parts of the territory, so they could recognize the qualities of the gods of Egypt as if they were those of their land of origin. The fate of the ancient polytheistic religion, originating from the ancient territories of Mesopotamia and formed by gods with dual characteristics, more simply defined today with good and evil, had to continue its path, at least until the birth of the antithesis of the polytheistic religion. The birth of monotheistic Christianity, derived from Jewish culture, where the concepts of good and evil were represented by distinct and simple figures, such as angels and demons, figures of a profound conceptual stereotype, a fraction of what surrounds and makes up the individual. A clear example of this assimilation is the figure of Ishtar, derived from the homologous goddess Inanna, whose name carries the meaning Lady of Heaven or Splendor, and also known by the name of Astarte by the Phoenicians and Canaanites. Inanna was the Sumerian goddess of fertility, beauty, and love, understood as an erotic rather than conjugal figure, and was also assimilated to the Akkadian, then Babylonian and Assyrian goddess, called Ishtar. Although these goddesses have different names, they have very similar characteristics to each other, and were some of the most important Mesopotamian female deities. They, as well as all the Egyptian gods, represented both the positive and the negative, with a double facet: love and war, the cyclical regulation of a generous and also destructive nature, but also justice and agriculture. The dualistic nature of the gentle and murderous rain goddesses make them some of the most interesting figures in archaic mythology to this day. In Egypt, the figures of Ishtar, Inanna, and Astarte, who appeared in the territory in totally different historical periods, were reintegrated into the Egyptian religion with the triad Isis, Sekhmet, and Hathor, while later, in the course of more recent Jewish culture, influenced by the Canaanite peoples, also known as the peoples of Lebanon, Palestine, and parts of Syria and Jordan, the figure of Astarte was totally eradicated, as it was considered abominable, and in stark contrast to God. The numerous myths concerning Ishtar are often at odds with each other. In some tales, she is the daughter of Sin, god of the moon, and sister of Shamash, god of the sun, while in others she is described as the daughter of Arnul, god of the sky. In each version, however, Ishtar is described as sister of Ereshkigal, lady of the great land, and her counterpart. She is, in short, one of the many figures that embody the creation of life. In all the stories, however, the association of the goddess with the planet Venus is maintained, which led her to have the title of Lady of the Resplendent Light. The iconography of the goddess is also associated with the eight-pointed star, a symbol also found in Catholic iconography related to the Virgin Mary. The symbol of the eight-pointed star evokes the fact that the planet Venus retraces the same phases in correspondence with an 80-year Earth cycle, something already widely known to Sumerian astronomers and astrologers. This is just one of the many demonstrations of how much the writings and sacred religious figures, during the course of human memory, may have been altered under the guise of time,